Hi guys, thanks for tuning into the channel. I'm at the third crossing on the outskirts of Orange in New South Wales, and I recall many years ago when I used to come to this spot fishing that you'd often see quite a few platypus swimming around this hole here. But late in the afternoon they'd be on the banks. As it is now, it's more like a trout stream, because while I've been here doing this clip, I've noticed just in front of me there's been a few trout surface and just hit there, because it's an overcast day, so they're moving around a bit. So while we're at it, we'll swing back down here. If you happen to follow this creek, say another 10 mile down, or 15 kilometres, 16 kilometres, and follow it downstream, you'll arrive at Ophir, where in 1851 that was the point of the first payable gull, where it was found in Australia. So on the other hand, you can go to that place and camp overnight. You can go fossicking, you can go gold hounding, anything you want. And I think to get any serious gold, you're only 150 years late, but there is, you know, panning stuff still hanging around if you want to get there. I've panned it there myself, so it's all right. So apart from that, we're up here. Look over that way. We're on the 22 model CB500X, and I thought I'd do a little clip while I was here today as I was riding past. And tell you one thing about this bike, when you get up and have a look at it, does this colour not pop? Like I said, it's overcast, so I'd be showing it as best now, but it's a really nice, almost like a racing red. So I'm pretty happy with the colour scheme, because although in the beginning I was sort of more keen if I could have got my hand on the green, I think after riding the red and going out and looking at it quite a few times, I've never got back and said what a crappy bike. Like, I've always thought positive of the colour, so it was a good choice. And I think what makes it, you look at the surrounds around the tank area and that, then look at the front guard, and between the two of them, I think it's really perfectly matched. I did notice on the overseas models they did actually have reddy white stripes on around the rim of the front and back wheel. That sort of balanced it even better, but they never give it to us here, so that's the way it goes. So let's forget about this side of it, now get on to what I come here for, to tell you about the bike. Today we're looking at my 22 model CB500X, and I'm going to tell you what I think are the 5 best features on this bike. So just a bit of history. Over the past 4 years I've had the 18 model, 19 model, 21 and now the 22. So I've got a reasonably good idea of what I think about the bikes. So it was a hard choice to say in my case which one would be number one. So you know, between 1 and 2 it's a toss-up, so it was just my personal preference. But I think when you make a decision, you know, you might be very close to those two and steer one towards one or the other. But okay, the first one I'm going for is this one, is the fueling of this new bike. So I think so far this 22 model's got the best fueling of any of the bikes I've rode to date. So when you get out along the road, there's no jerky throttle, or if you're going down a hill, there's no shunting or any of that carrying on what you're used to on the old bikes. 99% of the time this is a really smooth bike to ride. It just shows you how good it is, especially when it's a Euro 5 model and they've been working on fueling on these bikes for the last 2 or 3 years, and each year they come out leaner and leaner. And with that you get those jerky throttles and stuff like that. Well, last year it was a bit like that on the other one I had, but this year they've done a really good job on it. And I'd say 99% of the time you won't feel nothing, and so far on my rides I've only felt it once or twice. And it was only very minor. So it's there, but barely there. You might get on it, you might not feel it at all. So I'm that impressed with how the throttle response is now that I put it down as my number one best feature for me on this bike. So number 2 would be the Showa forks they've put on the new bike now. So they're non-adjustable, so when you look inside here, nothing there. But when you look down here into it, they're a big beefy setup, upside down, everything you want. Now I'll just put up a clip for 5 or 10 seconds and show you how the new suspension handled really rough potholed fill seal road. So if you look at that, you'll see how well it handles it, and I've been really impressed. Now not only do you get the new front forks there at the back here, you also get a new rear shock there with a, I think it's a 5-step preload. So if you look at that one there, you get the front, the back, and all this on the new model just thrown in for a few dollars more. So number 3 on the list is, because of they've upgraded the front and back, I reckon the ride quality's improved. So if you look at it that way, when you get out here now, I think it's a lot smoother ride, and you know, which is really good. It might be imagination, it might be just because of their upgraded front and rear shocks, but the bike just seems smoother to ride in that area, and you know, it's a pleasure to get on and go out and go for a bit of a burn on it. Now number 4 is if you're a new rider and you're coming into it. This is a triple, so if you look at it, you've got your gear indicator there, which is a real plus. You've got a super slick 6-speed gearbox, which is so positive. You don't get false neutrals, you don't get misshifts, you don't get anything associated with a bad gearbox except nice positive changes. And that's all mated to this slipper clutch, which is a pleasure to use, and just look at that. No effort whatsoever. Now to top it off in the top 5 features, I've got to say now, with all this combo put together on the 22 model, I think it's the best handling of all the CB500Xs that have come out so far. So well, it just shoots around the corners, nice and lean, fairly well balanced. There's just nothing bad you can say about it when you give it a little bit of work out. The mid-range torque in the lower rev range is really nice to get in behind too. So overall it's just a really nice, pleasant bike to be on. So that's about all I can tell you on my 5 best features, and I hope you find it enjoyable, and more importantly, when you're out on the road, play it safe, and I'll catch up with you on the next clip. Thanks for tuning in and taking a look. So catch you later.